What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Harris has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And to do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, that's Rhonda. And when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, Cancer, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Alright, Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Mercury Day. Mercury's here. This is going to be great. We're going to be thinking. Brain juice is going to be flowing. It's just be full of ideas. And also, Cancer, the moon's going void of course today. The moon's going to void of course kind of late today. The moon's going to be going void of course at about 11:55 p.m. and that'll be Eastern time. And then she'll be moving from Virgo into Libra tomorrow, the 9th of November, at about 3:07 a.m. So we're looking at about a 3-hour, 12-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And with the void of course, this is a great energy for just kind of kicking back and just resting, Cancer, doing some recuperating. Just not really doing anything. Just doing some meditation, some deep breathing, some self-care. Because with all the energies that we can take on and pick up from others. Oh, I'd like that, Cancer. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But with all the energies that we can take on there, Cancer, it's good to just make sure that we're cleansing the body, just kind of check in and making sure that we're just, all the emotions that we're feeling are ours and not things that we may have picked up from our, from our commute to our work environment to our home environment. You've got people staying with your family, things like that. So just something to pay attention to there, Cancer. But also that this is a good energy too. There's some astrologers who won't even plan anything, especially any kind of important things during this day, Cancer. So that's another thing to think about. And not to say that you can't plan anything, Cancer, but just be mindful when you're making plans during the void, of course, because you may notice too that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes, and also that people may be less likely to make decisions during this time. So something to be aware of there. And then with the moon being in Virgo, this is a very organized placement for the moon. So if you have any, Virgo deals with that day-to-day type of routine stuff, that monotonous work, the maybe not so glamorous things that we like doing, but the necessary things to keep this body functioning, keep this journey functioning. So if you have any sort of just like repetitive work that you need to get done, any maybe papers that need to get organized, maybe you need to organize your place or get things just in order, Cancer, Virgo energy has got your back. And this is a great energy too for kind of monitoring your health as well there, Cancer. Whether this be, are you moving the body enough? Are we getting enough sleep? How is our mental health doing? Are we just reducing stressors? How's our diet as far as what we're cooking for ourselves? Are we hydrating enough, Cancer? While I said that, let's get some tea. Lovely, Cancer. And also this is a great energy too for of being of service to others, So this could be maybe you've been thinking about wanting to volunteer somewhere, or that's all I got there. Volunteer somewhere, Cancer. Great energy for that. And then we're also in the waning crescent phase there, Cancer. I'm curious, Cancer, what phase were you born in? Do you know that, Cancer? I actually got a nap down in the description box. Time Nomad. That when you put in like your date, you necessarily don't need your time of birth per se, but just date and well, once you put in the place, Cancer, just put in your date of birth, and then it'll even show you what phase that. Because I was born during a waning crescent phase, but this is a great energy for just like just really kind of like relaxing, Cancer. Essentially like a nice little, I like that the void of course is happening during this energy too. Really great emphasis for resting, relaxing, recuperating after trying to incorporate whatever new routine or self-improvement that you've been working on. That takes a lot of energy, trying to get that stuff working into your day to day. So this is great energy too for doing some self-care, deep reflective type of work. Assess your values, kind of shine inward, and considering the card that's coming up showing compassion for yourself, and yeah, just reconnecting with source. Very great meditative energy. And then last little bit, Cancer, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. Excuse me. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Cancer, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you would enjoy them. But Cancer, let's talk about your general energy of the day. We got some water energy coming through, which is a card of compassion. Very Queen of Cups of you, Cancer. And this is a card of for self and others, soften heart, be gentle, and see the good. And Cancer, and I feel like especially when it comes to kind of assessing like the things that you want to improve upon, there is a need to make sure that we are being gentle with ourselves. And even while you're going on this lunar cycle, or whatever this is that you tackle during each lunar cycle, it's remembering that, keeping that compassionate energy for yourself the entire time, because there are going to be times where things may not line up. You might feel a little frustrated, might get into that kind of self-deprecating energy, and that's just you getting in that energy that allows you, that's beating yourself up, really hinders the journey and slows down the process. I feel we want to make sure we're keeping that kindness for ourselves, and keep that going, because then it just makes things smoother. It acknowledges the fact that this human experience isn't perfect, and I feel like that's great, being that Virgo is considered like the perfectionist of the zodiac. And even and that's something too to be mindful of there, Cancer. I can't believe I didn't think about that with Virgo energy. Being mindful of being overly critical of yourself, because I remember when really, even like starting this channel and really kind of tuning into the lunar cycles even more and where the sign she was at, I was always really at first really critical of my readings when I would do them at first, when the moon was in Virgo. It took a minute to really kind of relax and just like, even though there might have been things that I thought about saying afterwards, and it's just like, how could I not think of that? Like, oh my gosh, and now do I need to do this all over again? And it's just like accepting that mistakes will happen. Those things, they happen, Cancer, and try to see the good even in those mistakes and imperfections and things, because then that even helps too, Cancer, when you learn to really treat yourself. And then I keep looking at how she's got this water just kind of flowing onto her, like her third eye there. I feel like that's really cool. And the more that you do that for yourself, Cancer, that does help expend compassion for others as well, and knowing that they're going through the same type of experience that you are. And I know, Cancer, too, sometimes we may be thinking that, well, I'm working on myself, how come such and such might not be doing this, and then blah, 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 this and that. But they're just not where you're at. Everyone's experience with this journey is different. And it's not necessarily like, and I'm not saying that's excusing anyone's behavior or anything like that, Cancer, but I do feel like it keeps it so that we just put up boundaries with this person, or these people maybe, and come at it where we're not carrying that weight with us, just like, oh, why do they do this stuff, and letting them affect your vibration. It's just like, oh, okay, they're at this part of their journey. I remember being at this part of my journey, and then that gives you a perspective of just like, have I been feeding into this energy? You just start questioning yourselves a little bit more there, Cancer. I like this compassionate energy. Look at how compassionate you are there, Cancer, spreading this energy around. But let me get some tarot on this, Cancer, get some details. And I feel like, too, that helps you not to become even jaded in a sense there, Cancer, and get to like where you're, where your heart's hardened, and you get cynical and things, and it just, because we're all connected. And I feel like being kind to others too is, again, being kind to yourself. And what you put out there, Cancer, you get back threefold. So I, just be mindful of that. But that's interesting, Cancer. More. A lot of tower energy been going through here lately, even in like the other readings, Cancer. All right, so you have the, thank you. You have the Six of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Lovers here, Cancer. And I like that the Lovers came here because I feel like we want to be mindful of how we're communicating with ourselves, Cancer. The Lovers, I feel like when we really learn to extend that love for ourselves, that really helps us to stay in this real kind of like this real high vibration. And I feel with the Six of Wands, because this can be a card of fame, and I feel like, kind of rising up in a sense, but I feel the Six of Wands is like reminding Cancer that we're not better than others. We're at different parts of our journey, but it's still remembering that at one point we were operating at a lower vibration as well, and it's extending that forgiveness. I mean, we're putting up those boundaries, of course, but I do feel that it's interesting. I might need to get a little bit more with this Tower here, but I feel with the Tower, it's giving me this. You see how these birds are just kind of flying through this tower? Because this is a very soft tower, considering what the tower energy can bring through Mars energy. And this feels that, I feel like it's like saying that when you start practicing this more compassion, and not to say you're not already compassionate, Cancer, but the more that you get in the routine of that and really start investing in that type of compassionate energy, what will grow out of that would be really spectacular, Cancer, because now you're operating on a foundation that allows love and kindness to just permeate throughout your world here, Cancer. I like that with the Tower. Let me get a little bit more on that. But the Lovers too is Gemini energy, and so I feel like it's you remembering too, like I was saying, to be mindful of how we're, even if we're not communicating these thoughts, Cancer, even just where your head's at when it comes to when you're observing others, and again, just remembering that to be to be gentle and to be kind with this energy. But let me see what's going on here, Cancer. Right, okay. So the Tower is clarified by the Nine of Wands and then the Three of Cups in reverse. And I feel with this, Cancer, now with this compassion, that again, that doesn't mean that we're just letting others just do whatever they want. If they're going to operate in this lower vibration, and it does get to where it's starting to burn out your energy and starting to affect the flow, I feel there is this need of just kind of maybe distancing yourself from this, because sometimes that distance can help, that absence of your energy can help others. They have nowhere else to kind of leech that energy off of, so then they have to be with themselves and then allow themselves to do that type of healing as well. And but I do feel that even if we have to distance ourselves, to try not to forget that there is good, or that there is the potential for higher vibrations. Like you don't. it's a balance. You know, just thinking with the lovers here, there's always that dual side. We all have the potential for high and low vibrational actions, but it's just like which one do we choose to actively, you know, operate in. And it's not to say that you're not going to dip into that negative from time to time, but it's noticing that, and it's just like, oh, okay, I see I'm out of balance here, let's do some self-care, let's do some this, you know, like, and then your body just automatically knows to kick into this gear to raise your vibration to your highest self there, Cancer. So I like that. Lovely start here. All right, Cancer, let's get a little bit more on this. Almost caught it. Grab this card, Cancer. Alrighty. See what's going on here. Alright, Cancer, so you have the Ten of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Swords upright. And with this, Cancer, where do we want to start? With this Eight of Cups here, I do feel that for some, just thinking with how you got the Three of Cups here in reverse, that there are going to be some energies that we do need to walk away from, you know, that we might need to distance ourselves from. But I don't feel like that's going to necessarily, don't try not to think about it as an act that you're not showing this, you know. Sometimes the kindest thing we could do for someone is to give them that space to just kind of be with themselves. And you know, Cancer, there's plenty that we have to work on for ourselves. And I feel with this Eight of Pentacles here that the more that you get into, again, the more that you get into this routine, because this is one of Virgo's cards, this is the Sun in Virgo, and the more that we get into this routine, Cancer, the more that this kind of lessens the burden and the weight that this journey can bring about, because then we start to see and feel things from a different perspective, and from start seeing things from a higher vibration. And again, it just kind of softens your heart to, even when the negativity comes in, it doesn't affect you as much, and it gets easier to process this thing over time, and you'll get to this place where you can just face these challenges head on and with ease, and a there's this sharpness, so that's coming through here with the Knight of Swords here, because the Knight of Swords is like, you know, like facing these challenges head on, or at least that's one aspect that he can cover. He's a very fast moving knight, but for me, this is Aquarius energy, and you know, Aquarius energy does have this way of being, they understand emotions, but there's still this detachment that comes through with them. And let me get a little bit more with this Knight of Swords here, Cancer. There's Mercury. Love that. On Mercury Day, Cancer, a lot to think about. I'm with that one. Oh, well, almost forgot where I was at, Cancer, about the drops of profanities. You got the star card here, is Aquarius. So you got so Cancer, you have the Magician upright, and then you have the star card in reverse. And you know, Cancer, I feel with this. Okay, so I feel with this Knight of Swords here as well, Cancer. That with the star being in reverse here, there's this energy of it's like we're it's almost giving me this feeling of that we can, it's like we can't force others to do this kind of healing work. I feel with the star card here, this is something that they're going to have to manifest themselves. And I feel that the best way to maybe show this energy is to make it a practice yourself. You know, make this be where this is a part of your routine. And then they're going to notice your vibration changing and notice how life starts to go from that waning to that waxing again, and that more things seem to line up. Your manifestation starts to pop up. Your goals start to come to fruition, and you know that thing, the energies really start going your way, and then that will spark that curiosity, and then maybe get them asking these questions. Oh well, Cancer, what are you happen to be doing? You know, then they're taking that initiative, and the star card can be a card of unexpected help. But I feel like it's one of those where it's again, it's like them, it's unexpected because it's them that's seeking the help, as opposed to someone who's just giving that help, trying to create things for them to just do. Cancer. So I dig that, Cancer. And hopefully that makes sense. Now let's get some advice from Mercury. I love when the planets show up. Oh, that's dope too, Cancer. Because we got Gemini here. Ooh. But we got Gemini here. You know, Mercury rules over Gemini and Virgo, so that's dope. Oh, and there's Cancer. You are syncing up with the energies in an amazing way today. I mean, always, but really bringing it today. I like Cancer. Let me get a little bit more, and I'll tell you what I'm geeking out about, because I think this happened yesterday too. Thank you. All right, last little bit here, Cancer. And what are we? Let's talk about you, girl. So you have the King of Wands. There's our lovely card, Cancer, the beautiful Queen of Cups. We have those two upright, and then we have Virgo here, the Hermit, and then the Hierophant, Taurus, in reverse here. And let's switch back over here, Cancer. I love when the energies, the spirits do that. So let's talk about this Hermit, because I feel with the Hermit, Cancer. And that's interesting because I feel for some that there's this energy of needing to, just if you haven't been feeling or haven't been being kind to yourself, or noticing you've been really kind of harsh with on yourself, or and it may not just be during this lunar cycles, but just in life, it's like, how do we change up that routine in a sense? You know, build more, treat yourself more kindly, if that's something that's resonating with you. Because, and then getting, it's like, because for me, the King of Wands, he's a big planner. You know, he's always thinking about about the steps of like the process of what he's going to do, because he has so much energy at his disposal. And I feel that this can be, Cancer, you know, some things to maybe do to treat yourself with kindness. It's just like just doing little acts of self-care for yourself. You know, this could be going by the lake, maybe dip your toes in a river if there's something by, or in a lake or something like that, or maybe pulling out a nice little book there, Cancer, or just kind of watching your favorite show, just kind of having like a relaxing day, doing some things that just help get your vibration back on track and get you And I even feel too with this Cancer, because like the Hierophant Taurus energy, they are really connected with nature, and I feel like it's paying attention to how you're moving around this, around your this space, and in, you know, in your environment as well. Like, I don't know, like, I almost kind of picture, you know, we kind of like slouched over, always kind of looking down, you know, not necessarily just like really taking in things around us, and really kind of, hmm. And I feel like it's like when I picture with this compassion, like seeing the good, it's just like seeing all of the good and the beauty that's around you there, Cancer. And and really just with that Hermit, getting in that practice, 'cause that's, I'm getting that big Virgo factor with that, just more so it's just like getting that inner routine. and and this could be too, Cancer too, you know, nice little other thing to do for yourself is to meditate, because then that allows you to be with your thoughts, you know, be with yourself and kind of observe the the things that you may be telling yourself, so that the energies that you are around and the stuff that you're absorbing. So just a little something to think about there, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So if any of that resonated with you, Cancer, if you like that, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer, because I feel like that's something, you know, compassion. You know, that's something that can go a long way for all of us, and it it does help soften the heart and get you where you're not holding on to that, you know, that frustration or maybe anger or whatever that might look like, or that even that sadness, that critical energy. So just something to think about, Cancer. And then subscribe there, you hermit. Hit that bell button to get notified when all these videos. I don't know if that's necessarily a comp, but you know what I mean, Cancer. You get that hermit energy since you're bringing it. But oh, and the waning crescent, Cancer is all about the hermit energy too. So look at that. Really, really, you're syncing up with the energies, Cancer. And then last little bit for your readings, Cancer, check your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus placements. But you know, just check your chart there, Cancer. You know how I feel about that. I'd love you to know a little bit more, a lot more about yourself there, Cancer. Sidebar: I was actually looking at my, I look at my chart often, and every now and in others charts often too. But I've been looking at mine a lot more here lately, and it's just like I had a little realization with one not too long ago, and what that, because kind of doing a little studying up on a placement, it's just like, oof, I'm here to. Well, you know, we'll talk more about that, Cancer. But come over to my other channel. I'm going to say, you know, once you're done checking your chart, I do weekly videos, monthly ones, yearly ones. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. It's Bill Papa Jupiter here, the Wheel of Fortune. And he's in reverse. And I feel with the Wheel of Fortune being in reverse that it's like maybe for some we might be, you know, how I was kind of talking about paying attention, like how I was noticing that water kind of dropping on her mind's eye there. It feels with this that, because you know, Jupiter's very spiritual energy, and this feels that the more kindness that we practice to ourselves, this opens up a deeper connection with Source. You know, you're able to, because like the Lovers, the Hierophant, and the Star card for me are really strong connectors to the divine there, Cancer. And I feel there can be a lot of healing energy that can come from this, Cancer, and it starts getting you to where you start noticing, because the Wheel of Fortune is big abundant energy as well, and so you start noticing all the abundance around you, and hmm, and really just start to grow and expand. And you know, Jupiter rules over not just Sagittarius, but I'm thinking about Pisces as well. In Pisces, You know, and it comes with that Neptunian energy as well, but they are a very compassionate sign. And the water energy is just, just really compassionate. So, there's a lot of growth that can come from this Cancer and really can get the wheel moving and get you where you're not stuck in a cycle, if that's something that's resonating with you. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. Get you spreading that compassion around. Nice. Thank you. Alright, Cancer. So you have the Makuna card here, which is the card, I like that, Cancer. I'll tell you what it is in a second. But you got the Makuna card here, which is the Journey card, and this is ruled by Mercury. Get over Mercury here and Uranus, Cancer. And I like this too because the 16th card is Tower energy. And I feel that, you see how you got this eye here and got this storm that's kind of come to this lightning bolt. It's like the more that you get in, I feel like this compassionate energy, the more we start seeing this journey from a higher perspective and I feel like it's one of those things we can start really shifting the change in the direction that you want to, Cancer, and really get the most out of this and really develop a strong foundation and just a really strong mindset, because I like that relationship between Mercury and Uranus, because Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, and both deal with the mind. Where it's like Uranus is the brain, Mercury is like the nervous system, and so it's like getting those on the same page. I feel like you can see the future. Just, you may not necessarily know exactly what's happening, but it just starts looking a lot brighter, Cancer. So I dig that. But you stay safe out there, Cancer. Remember, show all this compassion energy for yourself, for others, for nature, for animals, for just spread that love around, Cancer. You keep eyes on the moon. Maybe do a little meditation, send some of that compassionate love to Lunar, because she does a lot. she can put us through the ringer sometimes, but it's all out of love. So just something to be mindful of there, Cancer. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.